The Kinder Lit Lab was a new opportunity for selected Wayne County districts to engage students entering kindergarten in a hands-on literacy and science-driven summer learning experience in partnership with WRESA. The Kinder Lit Lab was funded by the MDE Birth to 5 Early Literacy Hub Grant. It offers regions and districts the opportunity to consider how are we engaging our early learners and their families so that we might build a successful foundation for them moving into their school years. The Kinder Lit Lab offered 4 to 6 weeks of instructional materials provided by WRESA, focused on early literacy, STEM, social emotional learning, and early writing.
For the summer, I would lift up the books. The children and I both enjoy the books. We like that they can have their own and that they go home and the parents are enthusiastic about the books coming home. They was like, you get 2 more books? I was like, yes. And I was like, and we've read them already, so they can tell you a little bit about them.
Having the Kindergarten Lit Lab was really helpful because the whole day is planned out. I really especially like that you have the early literacy, foundational skills tied in, you have phonemic awareness and alphabet work, and you have all of the components necessary for early readers. I wish all students could do it because I feel like they'll really be ready for kindergarten. You don't know? Okay, Nadine, what are you drawing? You and your sister, what are you and your sister doing? Listen for the next work. What do you hear next? C. Oh, you're so close, it's a K. You know how they sound alike? You put the K. I think they see themselves as readers, writers, as students, and as scientists. So I think this will really put them ahead of the game when they go to kindergarten because I think they'll be able to write more letters, they'll be able to have an understanding of how school works, their role in school. So I think they'll be really successful as readers and writers and literacy and scientists in school.
Well, just looking at the children and seeing how wonderfully they are interacting with each other and they are learning, and just the aha moments when they are getting excited, oh, this is cool and this is great, and so they're really enjoying themselves and engaging. I really enjoyed the STEM and the hands-on activities that we do. If you're happy, you're enjoying it, the students will enjoy it.
Good.
It is. I really think that this is an amazing program, and I would love to be a part of it, and I think that the children really learned and got a lot of it, immense knowledge, and just, it was a great program, and I hope that we can continue it.
To help measure the impact of the Kinder Lit Lab camps, we designed a mixed method approach of developmentally appropriate assessment instruments that were carefully selected and designed to provide a holistic view of incoming pre-kindergarten students. Some of the things that we found, even in a short period of time, were that all of our constructs that we measured were statistically significant. So that means that all of the things that were happening inside of the Kinder Lit Lab camp were showing up in very positive ways. For example, the letter ID had an average, when students were pre-tested, the letter ID had an average of 15.55 for lowercase. And at the end of the kinder camp, students were post-testing at 17.2 uppercase letters. Additionally, when teachers observed students using the observational rubrics, they were looking for 2 things. Can students express themselves? The second one was if students were able to engage in some sort of self-regulation, which was part of the lesson planning for the Kinder Lit Lab camps. Both areas, the oral language and the self-regulation, came back statistically significant. All of these findings with our data instruments were statistically significant, which means that when students were able to participate in the Kinder Lit Lab camp, that Kinder Lit Lab camp practices, the lesson planning, the tasks that students were engaged in were really making an impact on the student learning. This is really exciting because had this Kinder Camp initiative been done throughout the county, the magnitude of impact would be even greater. We also asked families if they felt that the Kinder Lit Lab camp helped to prepare their students for school in the fall. They felt that the camp was amazing and they enjoyed having their students in a school setting prior to school actually starting.
I'm really excited about the things that this summer brought him. When it comes to learning to go from one transition to the next and sitting in large group or small group, that's not something that I can show him at home. Some of the things that they did today with the catapults, he had been coming home and talking about. I didn't realize that it was because of the STEM lab. So I think the hands-on is very important for any age. But for my child who is extremely active and can't sit still for more than 2 minutes, it gives him an opportunity to participate with others and also see, not only hear how learning works, but actually see how it works.
During the Kinder Lit Lab camp, students received books, writing materials, STEM kits, and increased confidence to start school. As we look to what might work for our incoming early learners, we know that this summer is a wonderful opportunity to close the opportunity gap, build up student agency, and offer parents a sneak peek into what makes their students successful, not just entering kindergarten, but all throughout the year.